As the woodcutter begins his tale, the scene flashes back to 3 days prior. Under a bright sun shining through the trees, the woodcutter is walking through the forest with his axe leaning against his shoulder. As he continues his journey into the heart of the forest, the drumbeat gradually intensifies. The woodcutter spots a woman's hat atop a rock. Seeing no one around, he continues to walk, now on alert. The woodcutter then finds a crumpled samurai's cap lying on the ground, and takes it with him. The next thing the woodcutter finds on his walk is a pile of rope. Surveying the clearing for other items, the woodcutter spots an amulet case, near which lies the corpse of a samurai, its hands horrifically outstretched. The woodcutter shouts, drops all of his belongings, and runs away. In voiceover, the woodcutter explains to the commoner that he ran as fast as he could back into town to notify the police 3 days ago, and only testified in the courthouse that very morning. The scene then shifts to the courthouse testimony of the woodcutter, seen kneeling before an unseen judge in front of a wall. The woodcutter affirms that he was the first to find the samurai's body. Asked if he found a sword, the woodcutter says no, and lists the things he did find: a woman's hat, a samurai's cap, some rope, and an amulet case. Next, the woodcutter watches while the priest's testimony is called. The priest explains to the court that he had met the slain samurai 3 days before on the road from Sekiyama to Yamashina. Once more, the scene flashes back 3 days prior, this time from the priest's perspective. While walking along the road with the assistance of a cane, the priest spots a samurai walking alongside a woman on a white horse. She and the samurai are wearing the same items, the woman's hat and the samurai's cap, that the woodcutter describes in his account of the story. The priest notes that the woman's face was covered by a veil, and then concludes his testimony by lamenting the fragility of life, as frail and fleeting as the morning dew. Next, the woodcutter and priest both watch as the testimony of another party is given, a policeman, and a notorious bandit he has captured named Tajamaru. The policeman mentions having almost apprehended Tajamaru before, and that he carries a sword. The policeman begins his story 2 days ago at dusk by the Kotsura River. While walking along the riverbank, the policeman reports hearing a commotion and finding an injured Tajamaru writhing on the ground, having been shot with several arrows. The policeman mentions also seeing a leather bow and a horse nearby, all of which he claims must belong to the dead samurai. The policeman registers the sweet irony of Tajamaru being thrown from his horse and shot with arrows after allegedly robbing and killing another man. Tajamaru cackles and calls the policeman a fool, before providing his version of the story. Still tied up in rope, Tajamaru testifies that 2 days ago in the evening he was riding his horse when he became thirsty and stopped to drink from a spring around Osaka. Tajamaru tells the court that he later felt ill and stopped to relieve himself near the river, where the policeman merely happened to find him. Tajamaru once again laughs at the policeman and insults his preposterous version of events, calling it the work of a fool. Recognizing that the police will eventually manufacture some reason to arrest him, Tajamaru pledges to the court that he will not hide anything in the story he is about to tell. He confesses upfront to the murder and remembers there was a cool breeze on that hot afternoon. Before launching into his story proper, Tajamaru mysteriously comments that, if it hadn't been for that wind, I wouldn't have killed him.